Ethan Ward, the CEO of a billion-dollar company, was used to control, in business, in life, even in love. Yet tonight, his pulse raced like a teenager's. After months of loneliness and empty boardrooms, his friend had convinced him to go on a blind date. "She's a model," his friend had said. "Smart, gorgeous, exactly your type." So, Ethan sat in the candlelit corner of the upscale restaurant, wearing his best suit and a guarded smile. Every time the door opened, he looked up, expecting perfection, long legs, glossy hair, confidence dripping from every move. Then, she walked in. Not what he expected. Her dress was simple, her shoes slightly worn. She hesitated by the entrance, clutching a small handbag like it carried her entire world. Her eyes met his, nervous but warm. "Mr. Ward," she asked softly. "I'm Lily." He blinked, momentarily confused. There must have been a mistake. She wasn't a model, was she? But before he could speak, she apologized, explaining that her babysitter canceled last minute, and she almost didn't come. Her honesty disarmed him. Instead of the practiced charm he'd prepared, he found himself smiling, genuinely. Minutes turned into hours. They laughed, shared stories, and for the first time in years, Ethan felt seen. When she left, he watched her go, her simple grace lingering longer than any model's walk could. He didn't know it yet, but his life had just changed forever. The next morning, Ethan couldn't focus on work. Meetings blurred into background noise. All he could think about was Lily, her laughter, her sincerity, the way she made even silence feel comfortable. But curiosity tugged at him. Who was she, really? His friend had mentioned a model, not a single mom struggling to make ends meet. Something didn't add up. That evening, unable to resist, Ethan asked his assistant to look her up. Within minutes, a short report appeared on his screen. Lily Bennett, age 29, single mother, waitress at Rose Cafe, part-time student. His heart sank. She wasn't who he thought she was. But instead of disappointment, he felt something else. Respect. The next day, Ethan drove to Rose Cafe. Through the window, he saw her balancing trays, smiling at every customer despite the exhaustion behind her eyes. A small child's drawing was taped near the cash register. "Mommy, you're my hero." Something shifted in him. For years, he'd surrounded himself with people chasing status and wealth, but Lily was fighting for survival with grace and heart. When she finally noticed him, she froze, blushing. "Mr. Ward? What are you doing here?" Ethan smiled. "Having coffee. And maybe, seeing someone who made last night unforgettable." She laughed, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear. "You mean, unforgettable in a good way?" "The best," he said softly. He didn't tell her that in that small cafe, surrounded by ordinary people and the aroma of burnt espresso, he felt more alive than in any boardroom. And though neither of them knew it yet, their worlds, so different, were about to collide in ways neither could imagine. Over the next week, Ethan found excuses to visit Rose Cafe, business calls, coffee breaks, just passing by. But truthfully, it was Lily. The way she smiled through fatigue. The way she thanked every customer like they were doing her a favor. One rainy evening, he stayed longer than usual. The cafe was nearly empty when Lily's little boy, Max, came running from the back, holding a paper airplane. "Mom, look! It flies!" Ethan laughed. "That's impressive, buddy." Lily flushed. "I'm so sorry, the babysitter canceled again. He's just here sometimes." "No need to apologize," Ethan said gently. "He's lucky to have you." But as he watched her counting coins for the bus fare, something inside him broke. She worked double shifts, yet still struggled. That night, Ethan called his HR department. "Find out if Rose Cafe's rent is overdue," he said quietly. When told the cafe owner was about to raise prices, Ethan made a decision. The next morning, through one of his companies, he bought the cafe building, anonymously. Weeks later, Lily arrived to work and found a letter taped to the door. Dear tenants. Due to a new ownership policy, all rent has been reduced by half. Thank you for serving the community with heart. Her eyes filled with tears. Someone still believes in kindness, she whispered. Ethan watched from across the street, unseen. He didn't want credit. He just wanted her to breathe easier, to smile without worry. For a man who once measured success in profits, he was learning something new. Real wealth wasn't what you kept, it was what you gave. A month later, Rose Cafe was buzzing again. Customers returned, the staff looked happier, and Lily finally managed to pay her bills on time. Still, one question haunted her: who had done this? She asked around, but everyone just shrugged. Until one afternoon, she overheard two men talking near the counter. Did you hear? Some company owned by Ward Holdings bought this place. That's why the rent dropped. Lily froze. Ward Holdings. Her heart pounded. Ethan Ward. That night, when Ethan arrived for his usual evening coffee, she didn't smile. She simply placed his cup down and whispered, "Why didn't you tell me?" He looked up, confused. "Tell you what?" "That you bought this cafe," she said, her voice trembling. "You helped us, helped me." "Why?" Ethan hesitated. He'd faced ruthless investors, hostile takeovers, and public scandals, yet standing before this woman, he felt stripped bare. "I didn't want you to feel like you owed me," he said quietly. "You've worked harder than anyone I've met. I just wanted to make things a little easier." Tears filled her eyes. "Ethan, I don't need saving. I just need someone who sees me." He stood, his voice soft. "That's exactly why I did it, Lily. Because I see you. I see your strength, your kindness, the way you make life better for everyone around you." Silence lingered. Then she smiled through her tears. "You're impossible, you know that?" "Maybe," he said, smiling back. "But I think you're worth it." And for the first time in years, Ethan realized, kindness didn't weaken a man. It made him whole. Weeks passed, and something beautiful unfolded between them, not the whirlwind romance of movies, but a quiet, healing connection that felt real. Ethan began spending more time at the cafe, not as a CEO, but as a man rediscovering what mattered. He helped Lily fix the leaky faucet, served coffee when the place got busy, and even learned to make pancakes from Little Max, who had decided Ethan was cool enough to be part of the family. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the city skyline, Lily and Ethan sat outside after closing. The world was calm, just the sound of distant traffic and Max's laughter inside. "You know," Lily said softly, "before you, I used to think people only cared when they wanted something." Ethan looked at her, his voice steady but tender. "And now? Now I know some people care just because they have a heart big enough to." He smiled, brushing a stray hair from her face. "You gave me back mine." She blinked, fighting tears. "You mean that?" "I do. I used to chase success because I thought it would fill the emptiness. But you and Max. You filled it with something money never could." Lily reached for his hand, their fingers intertwining, two worlds, once miles apart, now perfectly aligned. Later that week, Ethan surprised her again, not with money, but with a sign above the cafe's door. "Lily's Place, where kindness is served daily." She laughed through happy tears as he whispered, "A new name for a new beginning." And as the three of them stood under the warm glow of the sign, Ethan finally understood, sometimes, love doesn't find you in perfection. It finds you in humanity.